So the Uvalde, Texas school shooting has pushed lawmakers to try and find some common ground on gun legislation. President Biden is also vowing to get involved. Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes is following this story from the White House for us. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Yes, there was a virtual meeting, the first virtual meeting between a bipartisan group of senators yesterday, trying to find out if there's room for a compromise on this very divisive issue. They say that their staffers are going to keep talking and they're going to meet again, but it's still very unclear whether they will be able to bridge a gulf that has existed for decades.
This is a test of democracy.
Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy said the 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans were covering a lot of ground in that virtual meeting. Background checks, red flag laws, safe gun storage, and school security.
I can't guarantee you that there will be a compromise, but I think we will know one way or the other by next week as to whether we can achieve it.
One red flag, the Senate's Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, didn't even list guns among the problems highlighted by the Uvalde, Texas massacre.
Mental illness and school safety.
Republicans have proposed upping spending to harden schools. More cameras, fewer doors. President Biden doesn't agree.
That is not something that he believes in.
Some states aren't waiting for Washington. New York State Democrats announced Tuesday they'll soon join 5 other states to ban the sale of semi-automatic rifles to people under 21.
A shooter, a mass shooter.
It comes after an 18-year-old allegedly shot and killed 10 people at a Buffalo supermarket with the same AR-15 style weapon that the 18-year-old Uvalde shooter used. At the White House Tuesday, President Biden hosted New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Her country banned all semi-automatic weapons in 2019 after a gunman killed more than 50 people at 2 mosques in Christchurch.
The New Zealand public had an expectation that if we knew what the problem was, that we do something about that.
House Democrats are watching these negotiations take place in the Senate, but they are moving ahead with their own massive gun reform package. They're hoping to hold a vote soon. It would raise the purchasing age for semi-automatic weapons from 18 to 21 nationwide. It would also ban the sale of high-capacity magazines. But even if it does pass in the House, Vlad and Anne-Marie, as you know so well, it really won't matter if it can't get support in the Senate.
And Nancy, Errol here, Vlad's taken the shift off, not to worry. But what is President Biden saying he will do to stop gun violence? It's, the White House has already signaled that they don't expect Republicans to get on board with a bipartisan solution, an aggressive one. So what is President Biden saying can be done from the executive branch?
He's saying that he will meet with lawmakers, but beyond that, he and his aides argue there's very little that he can do. They say he has taken some executive action regulating ghost guns, these weapons that you can purchase on the internet and put together yourself that are essentially untraceable. But beyond that, they say if there's going to be major, significant, lasting change, it is going to have to come from Congress. So he is talking up these negotiations. He is openly saying that he believes that Mitch McConnell, that John Cornyn are reasonable, in his words, on this issue, rational on this issue, and he's hoping that these talks can go further than they have in the past. But I should tell you, this isn't the first time that we've seen a group like this, some of the same members get together. It has not borne fruit before. Let's see if these terrible tragedies in Buffalo and Uvalde prompt more cooperation than we've seen in the past.
Here's something that we haven't seen very often. Somebody in Washington, D.C. saying they got it wrong. We're talking about the economy. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says, basically, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I got it wrong in terms of predicting where inflation was going to go. I mean, it was sort of hard in the midst of the pandemic, supply chain issues, all that sort of stuff affecting our economy. And she said, well, we played it incorrectly. What can you tell us about that?
That's right. I can remember interviewing Secretary Yellen last summer and her arguing, as she did in many other places, as did other administration officials, that the inflation that we were starting to see back then was going to be transitory, that it was simply the result of the U.S. and the world coming out of the pandemic, buying more goods, some supply chain challenges that would quickly be overcome. Now, of course, a year later, with inflation still at 40-year highs, she's saying we got it wrong. It was actually more long-lasting than the administration and many economists expected, partly because these supply chain challenges took longer and are still taking longer to undo than they expected. You're still seeing COVID lockdowns in China, for instance, major challenges getting goods to market or even getting those goods produced in the first place. And, of course, no one predicted this war in Ukraine and the effect that it would have on the price of oil as countries stop purchasing oil from Russia, and what that would mean for the price of all kinds of goods and services, because as we know, when the price of jet fuel and diesel fuel and gasoline goes up, then the cost to get all kinds of goods to market, the cost of airline tickets and what have you, it all goes up as well. So she's doing a bit of a mea culpa there and saying that they perhaps should have seen that the inflation was going to last longer than they initially thought.
I mean, look, if the so-called experts can't get it right, because there's so many variables at play here, what kind of hope do the rest of us have? Save your money now, either way.
That's it.
That's what I say.
The mattress. I'm putting it under the mattress.
Nancy Cordes, thank you very much. Appreciate seeing you today.
Sure thing.